What's up, everybody? This is the Bro Stranger here, and today I'm going to be talking about TransformersOne. Now, keep in mind I've only seen the movie twice, and I have yet to see it a third time, so I'm sorry if that invalidates my opinion, but this is the best Transformers movie I have ever seen. And I plan on going and seeing it a third time, hopefully this weekend. I've done this for one other movie. I've only ever gone out to the theaters and seen the same movie twice, and that being 2016 Suicide Squad, just because my other friend group wanted to go see it and I seen it previously thinking they wouldn't be interested. So yeah, and that movie sucked. But this movie is one of the greatest movies, not just as a Transformers fan, just a fan of animation, a fan of good storytelling, of the origin of these two characters, Ryan Pax and D16. Their friendship is written so well that you don't want it to end. The whole movie, if you've ever watched a cartoon, read a comic book, played a video game, or watched a movie, or hell, you don't even need to do that, just looking at the lunchboxes, you can tell that these two are enemies. Anyone who's ever heard of the name Optimus Prime knows that the evil Megatron will always be there to stand in his way. And the movie had an impossible task to make D16 and Orion Pax's friendship feel genuine, to feel like they actually cared about one another, and that they would never give up on each other, no matter what. And the movie succeeds at that. It's so hard, especially with an origin story, when you know it's gonna go bad, but making the audience, despite them knowing the outcome, not wanting it to happen anyways. It is very difficult to do that, but TransformersOne is able to do that. By the end of the movie, you know what's gonna happen. You know he's gonna become Megatron. You know Optimus will become the leader he's destined to be of the Autobots. But you don't want it to happen. I think the best way I can describe it is if you're ever rewatching Revenge of the Sith, and you know how good of friends Anakin and Obi-Wan are. You know Anakin. You've watched him on Clone Wars, and while you're watching him in Clone Wars, everything seems fine, but then he shows that little side, that little hint of Darth Vader. And you know he eventually becomes Darth Vader. No matter what, you can't stop it. You can rewatch the movie as many times as you want, but the ending is always the same. TransformersOne does this excellently. I know and you know that he turns evil, and he betrays Optimus, but they still make you care. And if a movie can do that, then it's a really good movie. TransformersOne not only has amazing characters, but they also have an amazing world and lore and world building. CYBERTRON feels lived in, and it's not just the same generic Transformers walking around without T-Cogs or with. You can point out multiple characters. There is over 150 confirmed characters in this movie alone. Walking along the streets of Iacon, you can pick out so many characters. I'm not going to mention any of them here, but all the classic characters from G1 are here, as well as some really obscure characters from, say, the Marvel Comics, IDW, the movies, and other TV shows. Now, obviously, not everybody is here, but a good majority of Transformers, new and old, obscure and well-known, are on CYBERTRON. And CYBERTRON, I just want to go around and explore it. I had a similar feeling with the Super Mario Bros. Movie, where the Mushroom Kingdom, as well as Peach's Castle, as well as Bowser's Castle, and Rainbow Road, the Donkey Kong City, just feels lived in and feels like you want to explore, you want the characters to go over every nook and cranny, find every single secret like you're playing Super Mario 64 for the first time. Trying to find every single Power Star, every single coin, every enemy. That's how TransformersOne makes me feel. Seeing Iacon, and then seeing the surface world, it's unreal. You want to go there, you want to play through the Cybertron games again, just to explore this amazing planet that they've put so much time and effort into. Every detail, every street, every highway, as well the transforming highway, like in the Cybertron games, just really adds to it. The deep bowels of Cybertron. Cybertron is a unique planet. You're not just on the surface the whole movie. You're not just in Iacon City the whole movie. You go between so many different parts of Iacon, the mines, you go down to the bowels, the shipping yard, you go down to this ancient cave, you go to the surface, you go to the wreckage of a downed Quintesson ship. You go to so many different places in this movie, and you want to explore them all. And it is such a fleshed out living world, and I cannot get enough of Transformers 1. That is one of the reasons why I gotta go see it. And again, and again, and again, until eventually I can buy it on DVD, until eventually I can go frame by frame and pick out all the little references and characters. But it's not just references and characters that make up this movie. This is my favorite Transformers movie. Originally, it was a flip-flop between 86 and Bumblebee, but this is clearly a movie for the fans. If you have never watched a Transformers movie, you never picked up a comic book, you never played with an action figure, played a video game, or even watched an ad for a TV show, then you can get into this movie. You can take your friends, you can go yourself, and you can get immersed in Transformers and see why so many people are sleeping on this movie and why this is the best movie of 2024. I know a lot of people are gonna say that they enjoy something like Spider-Verse more, or Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, or any other animated movie coming out. But for me, and for a lot of other people, this is kinda my Spider-Verse. For me, I can pick out every single Transformer and every single character from the comics, and it's magical. And the score of the movie, if you haven't already, for the music alone sells this movie. And that 98% on Rotten Tomatoes isn't some inflated number. People clapped in my movie theater. And I say Transformers 1 is this 1 in a million movie because it genuinely feels like this is the first time they've really listened. They've listened before the feedback, but it genuinely feels like the team listened when I said, because I've always wanted that movie. I've wanted the movie set on Cybertron. I wanted the movie without humans that focuses on the Transformers, the core Transformers that made up the franchise I love so much. I don't care about Sam Witwicky. I don't care about Cade Yeager. But at the end of the day, I'd rather have a story about Bumblebee, about Optimus Prime, Megatron, Cosmos, Ironhide, Starscream, Shockwave, Soundwave, and all the other amazing characters in Transformers. Because that's why, as a kid, when I watched the first 2007 movie, and Bumblebee transformed and lit up that Autobot beacon, signaled Optimus Prime and the rest of the Autobots to come to Earth, that's why I enjoyed Transformers. Because of the magic aspect of giant robots that can convert into any vehicle, boombox, cell phone, or whatever, as well as the themes of heroism, bravery, never giving up, and transforming the lives around you. Transformers 1 hammers home these core aspects that I love about Transformers and being kind to people. That's what Optimus Prime taught me from a very young age, and this is what this movie teaches people. If you're worried that it's not a super dark movie, they have legitimate torture scenes, they have major character depths, and this world is built on misery, on a labor class that has never known a life outside of the Energon mines, who just want to be something more. By the end of the movie, everyone unlocks their full potential. And you know what? With the world being the way it is right now, I think we need a movie like Transformers One. So if you haven't already seen it and you're worried it's a super kiddie movie, I went to go see it. At the scene where Optimus Prime was supposed to say, guys, that doesn't look so good," the movie just cuts back to the interesting story of the Quintessons, of the Primes, of the Transformers, and it just keeps on telling the story. When Josh Cooley said that they put in all this fluff dialogue, all these corny MCU level jokes to get a laugh out of kids and make kids go watch the movie, and that was all, he wasn't kidding, because in the full release of the movie, it's not in there. This movie's suffering from people like Lorenzo who need to tie it in. Oh, in order to understand this movie, you need to watch 7 other movies. That's a daunting task, especially when you hear a lot of those movies aren't even good. I'm sorry. Movies like The Last Night, Age of Extinction, and Revenge of the Fallen. Hearing movies like that, you have to sit there and watch it in order to understand Transformers 1. No one wants that. And having one of the voice actors for the Spanish version of the dub, they didn't do a background check on him, that's for sure. But it sucks because I can definitely see why people in Spanish-speaking countries wouldn't want to go support this movie and see it. The fact that it comes out in a completely different month in the UK, most people don't want to wait for this new movie. They want to go either buy the DVD that comes out around the same time, so why would you go to the movie theater? Having the director basically be bullied into saying it's connected to all the other movies despite the fact it clearly isn't, by Lorenzo. And the actual misinformation and the lying the marketing does, the horrible marketing for this movie, doesn't do it justice. So I'm doing my part as a Transformers fan. Even if we never get another Transformers movie like Transformers 1, even though there is heavy sequel bait, I'm kind of fine with that, because even if we never get another movie like Transformers 1, just set on Cybertron, solely character focused, and Lorenzo and Paramount are content with having G.I. Joe cross over with Transformers and lie to us saying that we're gonna have a new renewed focus on the Transformers now that Transformers 1 is out and people want to see the Transformers as characters again. They can lie all they want. I'm just gonna go rewatch Transformers 1 for the 5th time. Transformers 1 is a movie where the creators put so much heart and soul into this movie that it cannot be ignored. Please go watch this movie. And we may never get another Transformers 1. We may never get a sequel or another movie even like it, at least for a very long time. But you know what? As much as that hurts, I think I've come to terms with it. Because I never expected Paramount or Hasbro to ever make a movie like Transformers 1, so I'm just gonna enjoy the movie we got. Because I feel like we're all lucky that we even got Transformers 1.